Hi and welcome back. Let's try this again, this time with sound. This is my third take, so I should have my things in order now. I got the microphone on, I got the light set, I got my swatches, I got everything. So, a good while ago I bought the Graphitint 24 set from Derwent, and I really have enjoyed this. I have actually used it. I used it also more than you can tell from the pencils. They last quite a good while. My hang up with this set is that there is no yellow in it. The closest we come is a very nice and very bright yellowish green, but that's it. And then later on I heard that Spectrum Noir came out with these Colourtint pencils. They're essentially the same as the Graphitint. And once they came out, I saw Harry from the Art Gear Guide swatch them out. And in this set is a yellow, and actually next to it is something, it's called russet, but it's essentially an orange. So I was just all for it, and then I forgot about them, and it took a while before and then I bought them. I think I swatched them out once, thought, oh, that's nice, and stuffed the whole thing in my cabinet and forgot about them. So these have only been swatched a couple of 3 times. I haven't used them. And then a while back after that again, I saw Lisa from Lacquerie Art do a picture where she painted with Graphitint, and she was also using the XL Graphite, and there's a blue in here that is fantastic, and I was like, I gotta get me some of those. I've used them a little bit, and yeah, they tend to disappear, but I really like them. So I'm doing this video because I want to actually seriously look into what kind of a color range did I actually get out of buying the extra 3 sets compared to just having the Graphitint. Now, all these products are all graphite mixed in with some color, and once you start laying them down, they all look kind of grayish, except for very few of them, but mostly they look very gray. So the colors really comes out when you add water. So if you don't want bright colors but maybe just a hint of color, you can use them dry and then just not wet them, or you can, I'm a watercolor person, so I always add water to everything. I didn't really want to film the swatch again because it's a little complicated and takes a long time, and I can't really talk for 40 minutes just about swatching. They lay down pretty much the same, the pencils. There's a tendency for this Spectrum Noir that they're a little harder than the Derwent pencils, but that's it. Now the color range, you can tell here, I got the two double rows here, and it's the Spectrum Noir Colourtint that is on the top, and Derwents are here on the bottom. And all my little notes here is that I should maybe have put these colors closer together because they're closer. Other than the Maze and the Rust, that is yellow and orange ish. The yellow is like a, actually is like a yellow ochre ish in the color, but it is way more. Before, the closest thing I had to a yellow was this meadow, and that's a bright green. It's very green. You can mix other greens with it, but you can't mix any oranges with that. So overall, the Spectrum Noir has a couple more reds than the Derwent does. Derwent has autumn brown and port, and then we go into some lilac purple colors here with juniper and aubergine. The aubergine and the dusky violet looks a bit the same, but it's hard to get the camera to pick up on it, but there are a difference. This is a little more black than the dusky violet. And the port and the Chianti is also kind of similar, but not quite. So you're well covered for, if you have both kinds, you're well covered for reds and purples, and you got a yellow. The Spectrum Noir also has more blues than, has one more blue than the Derwent set. So so you have a little more of the bright colors from Spectrum Noir. The greens are about the same. There's 6 greens altogether. There's 3, but they're not the same colors. They're the same amount, but they're the same colors. So they complement each other quite nicely. And then there's a little bit of a mess here, because they have one here that's called a slate green from Derwent that I put down amongst the greens, but it should really have been more up amongst the greys. So there's some cold and some warm gray browns here. And again, you can maybe argue that some of them look a little similar, but they're not exactly the same. And where the Spectrum Noir, then you got an extra bright color, so of course you have to give when there's 24 colors, so you don't get so many grays. You get basically 3 grays, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'd say 7 gray tones from Derwent. So I think they complement each other just beautifully. I really want to work with these some more. And then we're not even done, because then there's the 6 colors that you get in the XL set. Now the XL set is a lot different from the pencils. The pencils, I'd say, feel like a medium to a hard color pencil to work with. And they work pretty much like any watercolor pencil that you know, except they have these muted colors because there's a little graphite mixed in. These are big, they're chunky, they're dusty, and you barely touch the paper and there's pigment coming off. And a little bit of pigment goes a very long way. So, and I don't like the dusty. So the way I use them is that I actually use them as a watercolor pan. They activate very easily, no matter if you use it one way or the other. You need a good deal of water because they soak up they soak up water if you want to use them as a pan. But look at that, barely touched it and get a huge payout. So there's 6 colors. There's the olive green, a very, very lush Prussian blue. Look at this one, it's fresh. It's fantastic. And then there's the raw umber. I'll show you this wet and I'll give you the mass tone of that. That soaks up so much water. A nice raw umber there. And the burned umber is kind of reddish purple, dark brown. My swatches here are kind of pale because I was checking out how much I could actually spread them out. And here's the soft graphite, and here's the very soft graphite. So they get a couple of extra grays as well. The biggest drawback and difference between the brands, everything from Derwent you can buy open stock, which is nice. I might have to get a new meadow green at some point. I could see myself wear that out, or the autumn, or the port, or the juniper. The Spectrum Noir comes in those 12 sets, and you can't get them open stock. So once I used up my rust and my maize, and maybe the rose and the deep mauve, I have to buy the full 12 set to get them again. I hope at some point that Spectrum Noir considers selling their stuff open stock, because they have lots of good art supplies. But this far I have really only seen their Spectrum Noir dual marker sold open stock. I bought 2 of these open stock, a couple of blues, but I haven't seen the pencils. I haven't seen anything else open stock from them, sadly. Light fastness is a little dubious on the Derwent side of things. I haven't checked out the light fastness of the XL blocks. I would hope they are really good, because they are marketed for kind of traditional art. Some colors are very light fast, some are a little less light fast. It's the Derwent thing. But they're absolutely fun to play with, and if you want to make prints, illustrations, or coloring book art or something where your stuff is protected from direct sunlight, go for it. They are really fun to play with, and with the extra colors from Spectrum Noir, I really can't see any limits to this. No, you can't. Yeah, there's one limit. You can't make bright colors. But that's, if you want that, there's plenty of products for that. So this is pretty much what I have to say about these. I quite like them. And you might have seen my video about the tinted charcoal, and I like these nearly as much as I like the tinted charcoal. Before it was actually opposite, but after I played with the charcoal yesterday, I absolutely love them. And I just need to get on using these. So yeah, should you pick one or the other, I'd say go for what suits your needs best. Quality wise, I don't think there's a huge difference. If you're into kind of florals and portraits and stuff, go for the Spectrum Noir. If you're more for nature scenes and animals and things like that, the Derwent leans better towards that. And yeah, and you don't have to buy the full set of the XL if there's some colors you don't think you might not think that these are fantastic, but the green and the blue is attractive. Or if you like the one of the more of the others, you can buy them open stock. And that's another option, is to buy maybe the primary set from Spectrum Noir, and then add up with some open stock from Derwent if you like that. There's lots of opportunities. But if you got them, bring them out, and if you ain't got them but want them, I think you should go for it. The Derwent sets, the Graphitint, I believe you can get a blister set of 6, and then you can get a 12 set and the 24 set, and that's their range. And the XL set comes open stock, or the set of 6. So thank you all for watching. This was a lot faster with no swatching. And I'm sorry for the look on my swatches. This is Montval Canson paper, and it's not actually super good for this product. I'm gonna test it on some other paper. But here we go. Very cool products. So thank you all for watching, and please like and subscribe, and thank you for the heads up for my lack of noise on the last one. Take care.